Starting in 1979, the Steamers introduced us to indoor soccer, creating a legacy spanning over 4 decades. They come from all over the world, from different countries and different cultures, all descending upon St. Louis to make their mark and write a new chapter. The new core of players has formed a bond, a team, a family, and together they will compete for this city. Together, they will rise as one.
Hello soccer fans, and welcome into the Family Arena for this matchup between the Florida Tropics and your St. Louis Ambush. Down the field, I'm Patrick Kyle alongside Matt Bird, and Matt, another back-to-back against the two teams from Florida. This time it's a bit different though for the Ambush.
Well, first of all, we're at home, and the last time we played Florida at home, we walked away with a win. Another thing that's different is that we're not playing Florida on short rest. Florida have had our number when we've been down there, but we've always been coming off the back of a game against Orlando. So it'll be nice to play the Florida Tropics again at home and with a week behind our belt of full training.
And since we last joined you guys, the MSL added a new addition, San Diego, signing Landon Donovan last Thursday. It's a big addition for this league.
Absolutely, it's a big addition. He's probably the biggest name of domestic soccer in the last 30 years in America. What a coup by the San Diego Sockers. Now, the thing is, I think he missed it. I think Landon Donovan retired a little too early for his liking. I mean, he's gone off now for a couple of years, done his own thing. But I do think he misses it. He misses the camaraderie, he misses the guys, he misses the road trips. But another thing, though, is that he can't take this league lightly. I mean, he can't come in here thinking, well, you know, I'm the MLS, this, that, and the other. He has to take this league seriously, or it will eat him alive. This is not the outdoor game. This is a whole different animal. And while I do expect him to come in here and make a mark and put up some numbers, he can't take this league lightly.
And of course, you touched on it earlier, the Ambush coming off less rest against this Florida Tropics team. That's going to be big in this divisional matchup as it gets closer to have a game where you're not as tired against this Tropics squad.
Well, as I say, in the last game at home, we played the Tropics. We beat them. We weren't on short rest. But another thing going forward is that this is the first of 7 games at home for the St. Louis Ambush. The push for the playoff starts today. 7. We've got to make this family arena in St. Charles a fortress. We've got to put up wins for this crowd, get the crowd back into it. When this team is winning, the building is electric, and the fans get right behind the team. 7 games at home, we have to make them count.
All right, so that concludes us down on the field. We'll join you with the broadcast shortly, but now we're going to send it up to Brian for the pregame festivities.
Shot and goal!
That was arena soccer perfection.
With an absolute golazo! Goal! Goal! As good a goal as you can see! That was a heat-seeking missile.
Oh my goodness, Frank Tayu scores. Oh, heartbreaker.
Let's hear it for Null Elementary School from your St. Charles School District.
And welcome into the Family Arena, ladies and gentlemen, for this soccer matchup between the Florida Tropics and the St. Louis Ambush. I'm Patrick Kelly, staying alongside Matt Bird. And Matt, Ambush were not able to get the better of the Florida Tropics on the road a couple weeks ago, but they've been doing very well at home, and that starts tonight with a 7-game home streak.
Yeah, I think this is the making of the season, Patrick. 7 games at home. They've got to make the Family Arena a fortress. You know, they have to get these fans on side. They have to have them leaving happy with wins, and really this is the chance now to really push for the playoffs. I mean, I know we beat Kansas City 3 times, but they've come on strong. They're now in 2nd place in the South Central Division. We play them again next week. We have to beat them, but we have to take care of business this weekend also.
Of course, we're going to have the first game for you tonight between the Ambush and the Florida Tropics. But the Ambush have 2 games in 2 nights. As tomorrow at 7, we will be playing the Orlando Seawolves.
I think that it's good that we're playing Florida first. The last couple of doubleheaders we've had against Florida, they've been the 2nd game, and we've struggled. I think last weekend, and with the majority of doubleheaders, you try and win the first, and then whatever you can get in the 2nd game is a bonus. They won and lost 1 each down there in Florida this weekend. I think it was a successful road trip. I mean, to win with 5 seconds to go against Orlando was just huge. What a morale booster that was, and you know, I was leapt off the couch when Zach Reggett put that in right at the end there. But The game against Florida, it's always tough going into the second game in 2 games. And it was close. It was 9-7. It was a lot closer this time around than it was in the first away stand to start the season off. But we played Florida once at home. We beat them. We have to do the same again tonight.
A bit of a lineup change for the Ambush. Casey Clark scratch, as well as Corey Adamson, Chris Mattingly, and Douglas Dos Santos, as well as Everton will be scratched. Stepping into the lineup, Vadim Kochikov, Stefan St. Louis, and Eduardo gained some chances to play for the Ambush.
I think that Everton's got a little bit of rotation in his mind for tomorrow. It was a surprise to me to see Douglas Dos Santos not in the lineup. I think he's 4th or 5th in the league for blocks. You know, and the defense has been strong somewhat. They've had to be strong. They've won a lot of 1-goal games, and it's mainly down to Axel Duarte and Douglas Dos Santos. And it's kind of surprised to see him scratch. But I do think Everton's got one mind on tomorrow's game.
We're just about to get set for this matchup. Out there for the Ambush is Zach Reggett and Justin Stinson up top, and Lucas Almeida, Felipe, and then we have McGee all the way back, and of course Paulo between the pipes for the Ambush, and he's going to be opposed by Hugo Silva with a 4-6 record so far on the year. He'll be in the black to the left.
I do think that especially me, I talk about, you know, the Brazilians in this team. You know, I think Everton's brought a little bit of samba to St. Louis, and we've got 9 or 10 Brazilians on this squad now, but let's say a few words of praise for Justin Stinson and Zach Reggett, the American kids on this team. They are absolutely lights out right now. I think Justin is the most underrated player in the league, and Zach Reggett's just walked into this squad and lit a fire under it. I think he's at 15, 16 points, and he's been exactly what this club's needed.
So it's going to be the Tropics starting with it, sending it to the corner. Felipe able to win it back to Paulo, then up forward, trying to move it up to Stinson, but that's going to go out of play. So the Tropics, big restart, just 16 seconds into this game.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy there. You know, just a little bit sloppy right out the gate, and, you know, puts the Ambush on the back foot.
As it will be Pereira with the restart, gives a pass over, a shot taken, good save by Paulo. As it's going to be a foul. Diegas took that shot. It's going to be Bircher pick up the foul for the Tropics. So,
Bircher basically rugby tackled the Ambush defender down. Still a good save by Paulo anyway, but I think he knew that the whistle was going to go. But
6 fouls in a game, he is ejected.
You can't rugby tackle players. It's as simple as that.
You'd think it'd be simple.
I used to be a good rugby player when I was a good tackle.
Now Stinson cuts the middle, has some space, takes a shot that just misses, goes to Almeida, now back foot, and then Reggett going for another highlight reel goal, just missed that off mark. As the Tropics cleared out, making some changes, Felipe. And McGee rather bouncing off his head, able to get it to Lucas Almeida. Almeida
McGee nearly got caught out there. You know, he had to be sharp because the Tropics player was coming off the bench there, kind of caught him by surprise.
Stinson tried to go off the boards himself. Good play by Alves to work that up the near side. Still working with his Braithwaite. He almost got stolen from him. Now the former Ambush Manfoot clears it forward, but Felipe's on that.
Braithwaite's coming to the Tropics, and you know he was a part of the Freddie Moon trade that took Freddie up to Utica, and Braithwaite's come in and he's putting some points on the board.
Robert Acosta out. This time he's got minutes so far tonight. Now Clayton. So a wide open Pepe who just entered the field of play. They have JT all the way down low. As it's handed over to Kochikov. Sends it down. It's going to be JT spinning around. Has Acosta up top instead. Going to go all the way back for Clayton. Clayton a little head fake. Good defensive hold put on so far by the Tropics. Now Pepe just going to send it into the corner. JT's going to get there. Goes up against Alves. Spin around. JT has Pepe. Takes a shot and a good save by Silva against the post.
Excellent hold-up work by JT. I've said this all season. You know, he can get the ball in that corner and he will find a man. He will hold up possession. He will find a man. You know, he's doing the work that I think, you know, the likes of Georgia and Stephen St. Louis have been brought in to do. But JT Thomas, he was a bit part player last year. He's getting a lot more playing time this year, and you can see why. You know, they pump the long balls upfield to him, and he will find a guy in a white shirt.
Tropics working it all the way back in their own end. It's Arriaga for Silva. Silva almost lost it to JT, able to get it away in the nick of time. Then it goes off the head of Kochov. And it's going to go back for the Tropics. Over on the far side boards, working it down for Diegas. Diegas trying to work around, instead has to send it all the way back up. And we'll go back to Silva. It's going to be the Tropics making some changes. To JP Reyes, pressured by Clayton. Now Silva being pressured by Clayton, sends it all the way down. That's going to hit the netting above the ambush goal. That is going to be a restart for St. Louis. Both teams making quick changes.
Vadim Kojakov's coming out here. He's got a fair bit to prove as Vadim. He's been a bit part player himself the last couple of years with this club, and he's getting an opportunity tonight, and I think he really wants to impress.
Ricardo sends it in over, and a great save on Braithwaite as it gets sent back now. Now it's going to be stolen by St. Louis. All he has to beat is Alves. Nice play. Fighting back was Ruiz. He's able to push that ball forward, and Paul is going to come out of his box to play that. Catalina under no pressure, Manfoot near him. And the pass taken by Eduardo just gets redirected, easily covered by Paulo. Here come the ambush the other way. It's McGee sending it into St. Louis. St. Louis tried to settle it and send it back to McGee. Now goes to Laidley. Laidley wind up for a shot, but he was blocked by Manfoot. Now St. Louis, nice touch out to Mario Marcos. Trying to create some space for himself and loses it to Manfoot.
And just as Manfoot scored a couple of goals last week against his former team when they played us, I think Laidley is looking to put some points on the board tonight against his former team.
They're playing by Braithwaite. He's being pressured by both McGee and St. Louis, but Ambush are going to come away with it cleanly. Trying to boot it up was St. Louis, trying to find Laidley. It's going to be taken the other way by Machado. And then just drop back to his defense. Arriaga.
Been a nice open game, nice open start. First 5 minutes, a lot of back and forth. I think both teams know that they have to win tonight. I mean, as I said, Kansas City have come on strong in the last month or so.
Nice pass, leaving it for Arriaga, being pressured by Mario Marcos, and he takes a shot that goes well wide. It's an easy restart for the ambush.
Paolo will be delighted if all the shots end up in there.
Heaves it forward as Paulo able to find Zach Reggett. Reggett in the offensive end of the field gives it to McGee. Has Almeida wide open. Almeida takes a shot, and that's right at Silva, and he easily holds on.
Bit tame there from Lucas. I don't think he got hold of that.
Now the Tropics pressuring on the far side. It's taken a shot by Pereira, but that's going to go into the netting. Once again, we'll start with Paulo. Paulo's family's in town. We got to meet them right beforehand.
I would love to have been able to speak to them. Unfortunately, my Portuguese is a little rusty.
No, so is mine. I've not got the chance to go down to Portugal and learn the language, so we were on even playing fields, I guess you could say.
Well, someone's argued that my English isn't up to scratch either, but you know.
Silva coming way out of his net. Sends it down, and shot immediately taken. Paulo, point blank shot, able to block that.
And what an excellent save that was by Paulo. I mean, we were just talking about him. He came up big there. That was not easy, and that came at him fast.
The ambush had numbers the other way, instead dropping it back for Felipe, who sends it further back for Paulo. Now Stinson.
Florida have had a lot of shots. A lot of them have gone wide and high, but they're finding their targets.
Reggett's down behind the play. He's slow to get up. He's walking back now, jogging back to the bench. Hope he's okay. As Alves takes a shot, that was blocked in front by Eduardo, now up in the air. Pushed forward, now Reggett back into play. Seems okay. It's still in the corner. Kochikov fighting, then he sends down Boateng. That's going to be a foul on the ambush. Fans wanted a foul on that previous play, but it appeared that Reggett just happened to slip on the ball, fell on the ground. Weird there.
I was very concerned, actually. I mean, I was talking about the Tropics shooting, but the way he fell, I was kind of, I was kind of out of sorts. Another couple of shots that the Tropics have fired in here, and they're going to start putting these on target.
Fans, join us on
Still another good save by Paolo, though. I mean, that'll help him with his confidence.
He's being forced to make big saves early.
Well, as I say, though, I mean, the Tropics are finding their range.
That goes to Eduardo. And Pepe back for Hollow over to Clayton. Clayton cuts to the middle field, has Antonio Manfoot on him, sends it all the way down. JT got a toe on it, but then he goes down. That's going to be a foul on Florida as they were ready to start the offensive attack.
And I think JT knew that his first touch was a little heavy there, so he was going to lose possession, and he kind of found a way to draw the foul.
So McGee taking the restart. He has Pepe and Clayton up top on the far side. Eduardo, JT on the far side post. Drops it back. Clayton, one-time shot blocked in front and high in the air, just barely stays in play, clipping the glass. And Reyes on top of it, able to lift it in the air. That's going to bounce once, and then Manfoot going up for it, but McGee had the height, then it went into the crowd.
Well, I'm just speechless there. I think Antonio Manfoot, who's 5'3", won a header against McGee, who's got to have like 18 inches on him.
All right, it's time for our Powerade fan of the game. This little guy down here.
We have an official timeout on the field between the both teams. Good. About halfway through the first quarter, good back and forth action.
It's been a very open game. Yeah, it's been enjoyable. As I say, I think the Ambush have had a couple of opportunities. You saw that, but they've been half opportunities. Almeida had an open look and he kind of scuffed his shot. Reggett went for the highlight reel goal. He tried another scissor kick and he didn't catch it. But the Florida Tropics, I think, have had a better assortment of chances, but they've put a lot of their shots high, wide, and handsome. But it worries me that they're going to start finding the target. And Paolo's had to come up big a couple of times. One really excellent save. The ball was fired at him, and he didn't have a lot of time to react. But he made the save look easier than I think it was. But I think the Ambush look a lot better team when Stinson and Reggett are on the field. No disrespect to the likes of Stefan St. Louis or JT, but I'm not saying anything out of turn by saying that Stinson and Reggett have been the fulcrum of this team this season, and it shows.
Well, you were talking about earlier that Stinson is one of the best players on the Ambush team, has been playing the best, but not getting a lot of recognition. A lot of what he does is, I feel, small things that really lead to offensive chances but don't show up on the scorecard.
Again, I think that the Ambush, they made a lot of moves in the offseason that, Antonio Manfoot was the marquee signing. It didn't work out and they made the Laidley trade, but, I know that the Manfoot trade was, when they first brought him in, was heavily marketed. Stinson and Reggett have come in this team and there wasn't a lot of fanfare about them. There wasn't a lot of marketing. They were kind of unknowns, but they weren't unknown to the coaching staff. And you talk to Mark Litton, every single week, Mark Litton is very, very high on Zach Reggett. And you can talk to Brian Roth, the GM, and he speaks to the GMs around the league, and a lot of them think that Stinson will be a star in this league. And it's going to be hard for the Ambush to keep him. I know he's from St. Louis and he's a local boy, but there's some teams out there spending a lot of money, like the Comets, like Milwaukee. I mean, and then there's what San Diego's doing right now is amazing.
Paul makes a big save on Ruiz, as you were saying.
But, yeah, I mean, Stinson and Zach, they're the future of the St. Louis Ambush if they can keep hold of them.
Now Felipe charging forward, giving him more and more space. Takes the shot, and it was blocked in front by new acquisition Matt Clare, who was acquired from Tacoma just a few days ago.
Well, they just stood off him. I mean, Felipe was just giving acres of space to run, and he just couldn't believe the amount of room he had. He just kept running and running, and it kind of opened up like the Red Sea for Moses.
As they tried a one-timer to Reggett, blocked immediately in front by Pierre Reyes.
Well, the last time Reggett had a shot like that, he sneaked under everyone with 5 seconds to go against Orlando and won the game. So this time it was blocked, however.
They tried to send it to Reggett, just barely went off the head of Reyes, and able to grab that with Silva, as that was perhaps destined for Twine if he wasn't able to grab that. Nice header by Almeida to keep it alive for the ambush. Stinson fights away from a trip, gets the give and go from Almeida, right back to Lucas Almeida. Then looking to get it to Zach Reggett, it was headed away, then further out, but Felipe sending it back in. And this is just a heading contest back and forth.
Head tennis. Nice 1-2 there, Almeida and Stinson, though. The ambush have to do more of that, you know, quick give and goes. Be creative.
Bouncing ball, can't find anybody. Till finds Stinson on the near side. Nice bit of footwork to work towards the corner. Then he's knocked down. No call as the Tropics work forward, sending it off the boards, and Kochikov called off as Paulo plays it. Braithwaite pressuring, but able to cleanly get to Zach Reggett. Reggett with Clayton speeding on, sends it off the boards, and before it can reach Clayton, it's grabbed by Silva.
That would have been beautiful if it had come off by Zach Reggett. Great pass off the boards, but just a little too close to the keeper.
Have to give him an A in geometry, too, if he was able to do that.
Well, we'll get him a protractor at halftime, see if he can figure out the angles.
Exactly.
Tropics foul, number 23, J.P. Reyes is first.
It's going to be a foul on Tropics. Then Clayton tried to start up right away, but he was too far behind where the foul took place, so they're going to have him reset. Oh, the ball got lost under the stands, so they're going to have to grab a new one.
Not sure about that. I'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, the advantage should go to the attacking team, you know, quick restart.
Nice play by the Tropics, trying to work it forward. Got knocked out of play. It's declared to have gone off an ambush player, though. So the Tropics start in front of their own bench, and it goes off as Silva, who's barely caught probably the side of his foot, spun out of play.
Silva was lucky there. He was like a yard over the yellow line. Otherwise, it'd have been a restart from the center spot.
Nice arm there. Well done, Tim.
It's going to be Clayton restarting it. Kneeling getting to Kochikov. Kochikov thought about shooting, backs away. And trying to get to McGee, just a bit too far behind him. McGee chasing it for Paulo. Sent forward, trying to find Mario Marcos, but that's going to bounce out of play. So restart for Florida. Alvarez got to the start.
I think that caught Jacob Post there in the official by surprise.
Manfoot going in against Kochikov. They're going to declare it's going to stay with the Tropics as Kochikov and Manfoot going back and forth. Now Alves with JT making a wall. One-man wall as Alves takes a shot, just misses the net.
And he got hold of that, didn't he? My goodness.
Howitzer just misses by about a foot.
No wonder JT Thomas wins.
Trying to lift it all the way up. Great play over to St. Louis, over to Laidley, but it's still alive now. Laidley, nice moves, gets it over, and Eduardo took a shot. And he's going to have to just send right back to McGee after getting his own rebound.
Nice little move there by St. Louis to get the ball back to Laidley. I don't think Laidley expected him to get it.
Pepe in front of his own bench. For Paula now, Joanne Laidley.
A good couple of minutes this for the ambush. They seem to have settled down.
And they're still trying to push forward, but every time they do, the Tropics sending it back, and now it's a 2-on-2 until they slipped on the ball. Now Braithwaite comes, he trips on it. So it's going to be grabbed by Machado. Machado's just going to send it back to his defense. Tropics getting started back up. It's Matt Clare. to make some changes. Alves loses it to St. Louis. St. Louis a wide open end. He misses it. Now Pepe, the rebound. He scores! Pepe gets the rebound from St. Louis, and it's 1-0.
Well, Pepe getting all the plaudits for the finish, but the goal was caused by the pressure that St. Louis put on the back line. St. Louis was able to take it around the keeper, but just couldn't get his shot on target. But the rebound fell nice to Pepe, who was able to cool as you like. That wasn't easy either, that finish by Pepe. There was a defender on the line trying to get back, but Pepe was able to slot it between the defender and the goalkeeper.
That was a good play by Alves, just trying to make himself look as big as possible in that net. Didn't psych up Pepe though.
St. Louis. Pepe from St. Louis. Ambush 1, Tropics 0.
And the ambush can't take the foot off the pedal here, you know, because Florida will come right back and hit them.
That's Pepe's 4th of the year. A big one for the ambush as they strike first in the closing minutes of this first quarter.
And the ambush need now to get to the end of the quarter. They can't allow Florida to get back in this game. They want to be able to get to the end of the quarter, take a nice 30-second break and restock.
Nice hustle by Felipe. He was knocked down, still fighting for that against Braithwaite, but sent back to Cairo Ruiz. Ruiz further back for JP Reyes. Now Silva wide open. Gonna walk a little forward, then sends it down the line, hard off the boards. Sending it was Dieguez. No one home though on the far side for Florida. Felipe trying to work it up the boards, can't do so. Now sends it towards the middle. McGee has numbers the other way. He sends it to Reggett. Reggett has Almeida. Instead, Reggett takes a shot. Good block in front by Silva. Rebound by Stinson, gets blocked. And then Reyes able to send it out under some pressure though, and Almeida's going to come away with it.
Ooh, sloppy there from Almeida though. Give it right back to them.
Dieguez losing that to Kochikov with a lot of speed, charging towards Arriaga. Silva easily able to hold on to that though, as Reggett's now pressuring up front.
The ambush do very well when they press high. You know, they do force a lot of turnovers. Ooh, that came off Stinson hard.
Good block by Stinson as there's a race for it, 2v2, but Tropics came away with it. Now they cleared too far forward. McGee's able to grab possession. Just 90 seconds left. The ambush working in their own end. Eduardo quickly to McGee. And McGee waiting some more.
The ambush just controlling the ball though. That was nice. Nice little section of play.
Able to send it into Reggett. Nice drop back. He was looking for Clayton. Clayton couldn't get on that fast enough. It was cleared out by the Tropics and then touched over from Paulo to McGee. McGee switches with Clayton with a minute left. Clayton has Marcos, instead uses McGee. Reggett's down low and Eduardo starts to cut towards the yellow line. Sends it back to Mario Marcos. 40 seconds left. Marcos trying to get around Manfoot. He sends him to the ground.
I think the ambush know that they've known that tonight was going to be a battle. You know, they know that this Florida team's a very good ball club, and they've known they've got to play at 100%, and they've actually brought it tonight. I think I can see it. You know, the first 15 minutes, the ambush know they've got to be at the top of their game to get anything tonight.
Greg and Clayton passing together in close quarters, now tied up. Going to help them was McGee, but there's going to be a foul call. I believe it's on the ambush. And it is. It's going to be Tropics ball. There's 26 seconds left. Time for one last push.
Embellishment warning against the ambush.
Well, embellishment is the warning against the ambush. Alves sends that forward. Braithwaite. Wade now drops it back. Sending it over, and a great save by Paul. Almost snuck behind him. Able to block that with his left foot or hand, though, and sends the other way. Now Clayton. Clayton pulls up with just 10 seconds left to Zach Reggett. Reggett finds some open space, takes a shot immediately blocked by Alves. And then Clayton looking for it again this time. It's just going to be the end of the first quarter as the Ambush lead the Tropics 1-0 after 1 quarter of play.
I think the Ambush did really well in that quarter. I mean, it was very, very even, Stephen. It could quite easily be 1-0, you know, either way. But it was the Ambush that got the goal, and since the goal, they played well the last like 3 minutes of that quarter. You know, for me, again, it all comes from Stinson and what him and Zach Reggett are doing. But really nice play from St. Louis to put the pressure on for the goal, and Pepe with the rebound. But this game is far from over, obviously. I mean, it's only 1-0, and I think the Florida Tropics are going to fancy their chances to get something on the board soon too. So whatever chances the Ambush get, they've really got to capitalise on them.
And during this time, I would like to remind everybody that you're watching the Ambush on MASL TV. You can catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv, and as well as you can get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, or MASL Arena on Twitter.
Well, if you followed them all week on Twitter, you'll know that the big news is Landon Donovan coming out of retirement, and he signed for the San Diego Sockers. Unfortunately, he won't be coming here until the playoffs, until, you know, obviously the Ambush play them in the playoffs, you know, because we'll be hosting playoff games this year. But really big signing for the Sockers. They're a good team anyway. And I've got kind of mixed feelings about it. I mean, he's a massive name coming into the league, and that'll help. You know, a rising tide lifts all boats. But he can't make this league all about him. He's got to understand that this is a kind of different game, different mechanics to it. And the Sockers are a good team anyway. He can't go in to that dressing room giving it the big I am unless he can put up the numbers. But I do think that he retired a little too early from the outdoor game. And he's missed it, you know, he's missed the camaraderie, he's missed having teammates, he's missed going on away trips. And the San Diego Sockers are a good team, with or without Landon Donovan. But, you know, he's a welcome addition. I mean, I'd love to play with him. So, huge news for the league, huge news for the San Diego Sockers, and I hope it goes well, because if it goes well, then we'll start seeing more, you know, MLS guys coming into the league. You know, we've already got Dwayne De Rosario playing with Mississauga. We have a lot of USL guys, playing in this league. You know, Canado Forbes, who played at Pittsburgh last year, Tony Walls, who played in St. Louis, and Sean Tosh, he's a two-time USL champion. He plays with Milwaukee. So, I mean, it can only be good for the league to get more recognized American stars playing in the Arena League, you know, to keep fit in the winter.
It's now the start of the second quarter, just 8 seconds into it. Tropics working in front of the Ambush bench, and Reyes quickly gets knocked out, but that was declared out on the Ambush. Now it's Manfoot off the boards, trying to work it forward, but they're going to send it right back to Manfoot. Pressured by Almeida. Good step forward by Almeida. Knocked that ball loose. Still a loose ball. Now Felipe heading it over to Almeida, then trying to pass it to Reggett, but Alves blocked that. Now Silva back in his own end. Long pass trying to find Manfoot. It's a bouncing ball as Almeida goes down. Paulo way out of his net. And a great play as he blocked that. And sends it up to Reggett. Then Reggett just going to clear it down. Trying to find Stinson. Instead grabbed by Ruiz. And then pushed forward by Arico. And in and a shot off the post by Ruiz.
And what a nice move that was. Really crisp one-touch passing there from the Florida Tropics.
And Felipe had to watch out. He almost accidentally knocked that in his own goal right off the post. McGee able to get it forward to Marcos. Marcos with a lot of speed, able to get it to JT. Now Stinson winds up in a beautiful save by Silva. Header, and that just misses. Ambush still pressuring though. JT in the corner. Almost knocked down, able to get it to Robert Acosta.
Well, what a start to the second quarter we've had. Two really good opportunities for each side.
Let's go, Ambush.
Ambush working it down the boards for Clayton. Now JT in the middle, left for Clayton, and he maybe got his toe on that as he just barely misses the net.
More good work from JT. You know, I harp on about it a lot, but when you get JT the ball, he'll keep hold of it. He'll find a guy. He's really good at creating chances, JT Thomas.
And Silva winds up and heaves it all the way forward. Manfoot got a piece of that.
And no one will be more geared up to put some points on the board tonight than Antonio Manfoot. He'll want to show this crowd what they're missing.
He took a shot that Paulo just gets a piece of, sending it wide. The Tropics work it back to JP Reyes. Now Pereiras trying to find Dieguez, but Paulo stepped way out of his net, but that's going to go out of play.
That's going to be a restart from the center.
Country Club Car Wash.
Tropics making some changes. Out comes Braithwaite and Manfoot.
Parkway Middle School.
And this is dangerous. You got to think this is dangerous. Pereiras is going to take it.
Three-man wall set up, shot taken just wide of the net.
And that was just wide too. Paolo didn't know too much about it.
That was Bercher with the one-timer.
The restart and the Ambush get the ball back.
They're going to declare it's ambush ball. Where, though, we're not sure as of right now, and they're going to put it right in front of the scorers table.
Well, the ambush weren't complaining, that's for sure.
Marcos waits, able to get it to Kochikov. Nice move through the middle, and it's St. Louis getting the rebound. What a goal, and it's 2-0 ambush.
Well done, Vadim Kochikov, too, with a really smart pass that found St. Louis. Really happy for Vadim Kochikov there. Smart heads-up play too for the finish by Stefan St. Louis. Here's the replay now. A really nice pass here by Vadim. And a back heel from Stefan St. Louis finishes it off.
So St. Louis is going to get his third of the year. And he adds to the St. Louis lead. That is now 2.
Stefan St. Louis.
Pressure has been going back and forth for this entire game. Tropics have been getting some good chances. Paul has just been the difference so far.
Well, it's just finishing. It's just finishing as well. I mean, the Tropics haven't taken their chances. They've got close. I mean, they hit the inside of the post before, but the ambush have been able to finish their chances.
Braithwaite took a shot that's going to be declared a foul.
Number 70, McGee.
Against McGee.
Yeah, just took it on the shirt. Just took Braithwaite's shirt there. He was just lining up to pull the trigger.
Now it's the former Tacoma star, Matt Clare. He has Ruiz with him as well. We'll see who takes the shot. Ruiz leaves it. Clare fakes it, takes the shot, and just glazes off of Paulo's hand, and then sent all the way back for Reyes.
Yeah, it's just finishing some difference right now. The Tropics have they've had numerous shots, but they're getting closer though. I mean, the first quarter shots were going high and wide. You know, they've had a couple really close chances in the second quarter.
Pepe fighting for it. Ambush able to push it forward, not all the way out though, as Reyes keeping it in, sending it over to Clare. And Clare's just going to send it back to Silva.
And this is what the Tropics need. The Tropics need a good 2-3 minutes of solid possession. You know, finding guys in the... Are they orange or are they red? they're Tropic shirts, and they need to settle it down. They can't allow this game to get out of control for them. They don't want to find themselves 3-4-0 down. They need to put their foot on the ball and just find their feet themselves. And they're nearly doing that, and what a goal. Really sharp finish.
Ruiz was just coming in one-on-one, just barely got the better of, I believe, Eduardo, able to get past him and just barely lifts that over Paulo. Here's the replay right now. Long lead pass forward off the boards. And yeah, just barely getting that foot on there first before Eduardo can get there. Paulo, great effort at it, just barely misses his hand.
I think the ambush defender, as soon as the ball got goal side of him, he was always struggling.
Dieguez, his 9th goal of the season. That's by number 23, JT Reyes.
It is going to be Diegas' goal, his 9th of the season. It's now Manfoot in the ambush end, working behind. Wasn't ready for JT to come up from behind him. Steals that from him. Now Stinson pushing forward, loses it. Silva pressured from JT, gives it right away. Now to JT from Almeida, tried to lift it over, didn't work. Now Almeida, another shot taken, but he misses it over the net.
Well, I was saying that the Tropics needed a good solid 2-3 minutes of possession, and they had it and they were able to capitalize. They were getting closer. But I think that's how the games have gone, you know. That's how the games have been going, especially for the ambush. You know, they've been very back and forth. They've been 1-2-0 leads here and there. And, you know, if the ambush are going to win this game, they're going to have to earn it.
Now Stinson sending it off the boards, able to find St. Louis. Already has 2 points, trying to find his third with Acosta. Now Almeida grabs. Almeida with some space, takes a shot. Hand save by Silva.
Good shot by Almeida. Great save by Silva, though. Almeida knew he had time. He knew he was able to pick his spot, but really nice save from Silva.
Trying to send it to St. Louis. He was going to leave it for Mario Marcos. Instead, grabbed by the Tropics. Now for Matt Clare. Matt Clare with Clayton on him. At the midfield line as the Tropics were changing. Almost too many men as they get back to Silva. And then over to Arriaga, being pressured by Marcos. Tropics still can't get it out. St. Louis using his speed, trying to beat Reyes to the ball, but Reyes able to get there first. Chips that ball forward. Acosta keeps it alive. Going through St. Louis' legs, and Reyes is just going to clear it all the way down. Paulo ready to settle that.
You mentioned Matt Clare, who came from, Tacoma? In a trade recently. I've been very impressed with him. He's looked very steady on the ball, very assured, nice passes. It's easy to see why Florida would like a player of that caliber.
Reyes gets a restart after it went off of Marcos and into the crowd. Silva keeping the ball on the ground, sending it forward. Diegas loses that to Acosta. Now Clayton spinning around away from it. Manfoot. Marcos easily gets it to Clayton. Clayton to Reggett. Zach Reggett looking to go off the boards. Instead spins off a man. Able to get to Clayton. Wide open is Felipe. And a one-time shot tipped by Marcos. And right on save by Silva.
And I think Marcos didn't know whether to leave it or try and get a little nick on it and deflect it. He kind of did neither, and it just dribbled through to Silva.
As Pereira's got the drop there from Braithwaite, sent it way over the net. I believe Paul's going to get the restart. He's just having a word with the official real quick.
He was upset about something, not sure what.
Now Pepe, who had the first ambush goal. Over for McGee, then back for Paulo. English just working on getting on solid possession halfway through this second half.
That's the ambush turn to just trying to put the foot on the ball, dictate the tempo, pass it around, find the guys in white shirts. They don't want the Tropics to get any momentum from the goal that they just scored.
Apollo under pressure from two. Tropics sends it forward, trying to find Dwayne Ladley. Instead, goes right to Pepe. Nice move by Pepe to get around one man. Over to a wide open Ladley. Playing it off the boards. Pepe gets off him off the ground. Nice head fake. Instead, he shakes his head and sends it back to McGee. Over to Kochikov and back to McGee. Now Pepe waiting. Now for McGee. McGee cuts open. Cuts over to space. And then Ladley, the shot and a diving save by Silva. Looking for that rebound was JT, but it's cleared out. Ambush keeping possession. 7:20 left in this first half.
Lucas
It's
Almeida.
given forward to Almeida. Almeida, a lot of space, trying to get to St. Louis down off the post. It's going to be cleared out by the Tropics, and Paula way out of his net, able to play it off the boards cleanly to his teammates.
Nice play there from Almeida. He's had a couple of shots in this game that kind of just found their way to the keeper Silva.
Lucas Almeida with Manfoot quickly behind him, and then Paulo able to lift it over Manfoot. Gets it to Almeida. Almeida in with numbers. Look to take a shot, but a nice slide tackle by Diegas knocks that play up.
Almeida being asked this season to do a more withdrawn job in the midfield than last year. He scored a lot of goals, was very exciting player last year, a lot more forward-minded. I'm not sure if this role suits him more, being more withdrawn. But I think Lucas seems a bit more frustrated. He's used to being the guy to score the goals, and the job that Everton's asking of him this year in midfield, he's doing it well, but I think Almeida likes to see his name in lights more.
Tropics working within front of the penalty area, almost losing it to JT, or Stinson rather, and then Reyes clearing it forward. Able to find Boateng. He takes a shot from a distance. Easy save by Paulo against the post. Him and Eduardo go back and forth. Gives it to Eduardo, who's wired open down the middle. Sends off the boards looking for Stinson. Stinson and Reyes go back and forth, but Stinson gets the better of that fight. Now to Mario Marcos. Marcos tried to send it back, but broken up briefly by the Tropics. Stinson again. Double team. This time he goes down, and there will be a foul on Florida.
And you called it. He was absolutely double teamed there. Well done by Marcos, though, to find Stinson in the end. He did well, Marcos, to fight back after losing possession and find Stinson eventually. And that's a foul against Reggett.
Number 8, Kyle Ruiz.
I don't know if McGee saw that coming, but Reggett heading back. Yep, tripped up. Very easy call for the official. Another restart for the ambush. It looks like Felipe. Now Reggett calls him off, gives the pass back to Felipe. Now Marcos over.
It feels like this game is waiting to explode. You know, there's goals in this game, and it's like it's waiting to come alive.
So Reggett leaves the bouncing ball, trying to find Marcos, but Reyes trying to clear it out, falls down while doing so. Then Ruiz picks up the loose ball. Marcos onto him, so it's cleared all the way down by Reyes, and that bouncing ball just barely climbs over the boards.
The game seems like a chess game so far. You know, it's a lot of back and forth, very nip and tuck. I think the teams are afraid of making a mistake because they know that, you know, a mistake on either side can be deadly. It's been very tight defensively. But the game feels like it's one of them pivotal points where, you know, as I say, it's like it's waiting to explode.
You see any changes for the ambush going forward with their strategy, knowing they're playing tomorrow, even though they have a lot of guys resting tonight, ready for tomorrow's game?
I do. I think that Vadim Kochakov's come in and done really well. He's been very solid. He's got an assist. Vadim has been around the ambush for 3 years now. He was the guy back when Tony Glavin was the coach. Vadim played with Tony for his PDL team, the Lions. And Vadim is, I think that was a little too fast, too soon for Vadim, and he's had to take a back seat. But he's come in and done really well tonight. I think the assist will have done him the world of good, but I think Vadim he's done a lot of simple things well. You know, defensively he's been very strong. He's found his passes, and he's not tried to do too much with the ball. But I think that there could be with someone like Kojakov coming in, playing probably only his second game so far this year, that he can try and do too much. And he's done very well at just doing the simple things right. You know, Laidley's come into this squad, and it must be very difficult, you know, coming into a team and playing your old team in 2 games. We spoke to Mark Litton before the game, and he's convinced that Laidley's going to score some points soon. He's just waiting for something to just fire himself into contention for the points. But this game is so tight right now that both teams are playing very conservatively on the defense because they know that any mistake could open this game up.
Tropics playing it off the apron, and Pereiras sending it back to the keeper. He calls him forward a bit. Alves did, and sent all the way down. Braithwaite going in against as McGee, and all the way back for Machado. Machado again. Instead of sending it to Alves, sends it to Silva. Less than 4 minutes left as Silva just sends it all the way back to his opposing keeper on the other end. Now Felipe, a lot of space to work with, gets McGee, who has the Jets going. McGee stops on the dime, dropping it back. Pepe.
Good work by Pepe there. He tried, you know, there was nothing on forward, so just drop it back to Paolo. Keep possession, keep the ball.
JT knocking into some free space. He gets knocked down on the slide. Now Clayton with it. Over to JT and back to McGee. Now Pepe backs up as the ambush makes some changes. Out comes Stefan St. Louis, as well as Vadim Kochakov and Robert Acosta. Trying to set it into St. Louis was...
And I was just singing Kochakov's praises there, but that was a lazy ball trying to find St. Louis, and just an easy pick for Silva.
Bouncing ball going to stay in play. Kept alive by the defense of the Tropics. Then St. Louis taking over. Nice move to the inside before he could get back on it, though. Silva leaps forward. Great play by Hugo Silva.
One touch too many from St. Louis, and he knew it. He knew it. He should have pulled the trigger way earlier.
Now Boateng and Kochakov and Acosta joining in on the mix, as well as Diegas. Pushing it forward is Clayton, but taking over is Reyes, who is down low.
Ball kind of got hung up in that corner for a good 10 seconds there.
So Reyes working it down the boards. Clark taking a shot, and that hits the top of the glass, and it sails over the net into the crowd. It's going to be St. Louis ball. They make wholesale changes. Out coming as Laidley, Eduardo, Almeida, and Reggett. But Acosta still out there. Now Eduardo already double teamed to Laidley. Laidley tried to push it forward, stolen, and it's Ruiz. Ruiz Spinorama move, nice play, still alive with it. Then Diegas loses it to Dwayne Laidley.
What skill that was by Reyes there to spin round, but here come the ambush, and here comes Zach Reggett.
Gets it to Reggett, Reggett waits, Almeida, he shoots and scores! What patience by Zach Reggett, and a beautiful pass leads to a goal from Lucas Almeida.
I'm really happy for Lucas Almeida too, you know, he's had a couple of good looks this game, but as you called it, great patience from Zach Reggett. You know, he held that ball and held that ball and held that ball and waited for Lucas to catch up with him. Here it is on the rebound. He just waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. There comes Lucas. Solid finish. He was able to pick his spot again. Lucas had a couple of shots where he was able to find a spot, and Silva was able to best him and save it, but he wasn't able to best him there. And a really nice goal. Good work by Reggett. Nice finish by Lucas.
So Lucas gets his fourth of the year. Tropics immediately send it all the way down, looking for Manfred off the boards. Instead, it's going to be taken by JT. Almost gets kicked in the face as Stinson now grabbing it. And Felipe forward. Stinson in a race, JT rather, in a race for it. Ball gets sent way up in the air for a second. Looked like it was going to reach the second floor here.
I thought you were going to catch it there.
It was just a bit. Well, I kind of backed up a little bit, like just in case. It's going to be the restart for the ambush, though. Felipe to the middle for Stinson. Back to Felipe. And now Mario Marcos cuts towards the middle. Now back to the outside, trying to get around Braithwaite. He cuts away from him. Tries to go off the boards to Stinson. The rebound by Mario Marcos just gets lifted over the net. Pereira was in a race for it with McGee, but it goes all the way down to Paulo.
Last minute of play.
Machado didn't know where that ball is, so the ambush come away with it. JT now. Pulls away. And then sending it all the way down for Justin Stinson. 45 seconds left as Stinson, under some pressure, able to get it back to Felipe.
This first half, was absolutely flown by. It's been a really, really good game.
It's sent over briefly to McGee as Pepe and Felipe go back and forth. Now down for McGee. McGee to St. Louis. St. Louis waits, drops it for Stinson. The shot taken, just misses, and then Alves clipped the rebound, and it goes to St. Louis with 10 seconds left in the half. Still with him, then he's just going to send it back to Paulo to kill the rest of the time. Paulo, one last big boot. That's going to go out of play with 1.5 seconds left, so Silva should just kick this ball forward. He says, the ref, just give me the ball. And he drops it off. They touch it, and that will be the end of the first half as the St. Louis Ambush push ahead of the the Florida Tropics, rather, and they lead 3-1 after one half.
A very, very satisfactory 30 minutes of football there from the St. Louis Ambush against a very tough Florida Tropics team.
Going through a divorce
the
in a
Ambush
family law
can be
manner
really
can be an
pleased with the way
emotional
they
time.
put
Having
it.
an attorney
I think
that
the
can relate to you
Tropics,
can make one of the
they're going to go in there and get the hair dry
differences
treatment from their
going
coach
through
because
our legal team,
they've had opportunities, we haven't been able to put them away, but they've allowed the ambush to dictate the play a lot, and the ambush worthy for their 3-1 lead right now. But they've had to work for it, the ambush. That was not easy to come off the field, with a 3-1 lead.
So 30 minutes of soccer in the books. We'll be back for the second half of play. Ambush 3, Tropics 1.
One of the biggest things for me is my family. I joined the 12-week challenge. My whole family motivated me, and I think that's a huge part of my success. In 12 weeks, I lost 47 pounds.
Ready for anything. At Mercy, your life is our life's work.
And welcome back into the Family Arena, ladies and gentlemen. At halftime, the Ambush lead the Florida Tropics 3-1. Matt, looking around the graphics from around the league leaders. Seeing at the top, we got Diego Arriaga.
Well, I mean, he's leading the league for all the goalie stats. I mean, he's having a lights-out year right now. I mean, Rio Grande down there in Hidalgo, Texas, they're playing really well. They just coming off a 10-2 win over Turlock Express. But Diego is lights out. I mean, he's winning every stat for the goalkeepers right now.
Please stand and be recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, help the Ambush.
And we'll see that. I mean, well, we're going to the league goal scorers right now, and the one that stands out for me is Craig Childs for San Diego. He's absolutely having a phenomenal year, as are most of the Sockers. But Ian Bennett down there, 16. We all know about Ian Bennett in the South Central Conference. The Wave are a perennial powerhouse. Frank Teo making a name for himself. I think he was on Team of the Week again this week for Monterey Flash. But it's actually Adrian Perez of Ontario Fury with 20 goals leading the league. But for me, Ian Bennett is lights out that we have to watch for Milwaukee, and Frank Teo. Slavisa making waves. We saw what he could do against us last week when Utica paid us a visit. But again, Leo Gibson, South Central Division. He's got 33 points, but the guy's 40 years old. I mean, he has just been an annual point scorer for Kansas City.
And Moser goes up high and pounds
the here again, the goalies, Diego Arriaga again, the RGV goalkeeper. Diego Reynoso, he was Team of the Week, and he's been all year. Diego Reynoso from Monterey has been lights out too.
That was sweet.
Adrian Perez, 140 points, top stars of the league. And Leo Gibson and Eligwe for Milwaukee. Just shows you how
The Monkees, featuring Mike Nesmith and Mickey Dolan, coming to your town for a night of music, harmony, and fun. Saturday, March 16th, 7:30, the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at metrotix.com. Patton Oswalt is coming to you live. Friday, April 26th, the Family Arena.
Field players just getting warmed up.
Tickets on sale now at metrotix.com.
Just a minute left.
Check out Patton's Netflix special, Annihilation, streaming now. An evening of classic hits with Under the Street Lamp, live. Friday, March 15th, the Family Arena. Tickets are on sale now at metrotix.com and the Carroll House box office at the Family Arena.
The game.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2019. The 10th anniversary. Saturday, August 17th at the Family Arena. Starring the Turtles, Chuck Negron, formerly of Three Dog Night, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, the Buckinghams, the Classics 4, and the Cowsills.
I think that the Tropics.
Get tickets now at the Carroll House box office located at the Family Arena or at metrotix.com.
Is a harder proposition than tomorrow. If they can win tonight, great. But don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself.
And remind everybody that the MASL now has a podcast. You can join host Craig Elston as he talks to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and takes you behind the scenes of the MASL. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast.
Well, I love podcasts. I love soccer podcasts. So if you're a podcast fanatic like I am, I'm on a podcast every other week for St. Louis Soccer. Please check it out. It's called This Is Silly with the St. Louligans. Myself and my buddies Brad and Mitch do it. But the MASL have now got a podcast, so you should also subscribe to that one also. Here we go, second half. The Ambush are going to have to bring it like they did in the first, because if they let off the gas or lose any momentum, this Florida Tropics team will hit them hard. You know, we all know what Braithwaite can do. We all know what Manfoot can do.
The Ambush have been able to keep Manfoot relatively quiet so far tonight as keeping it in the zone. It's the Tropics trying to spin around Pereira. Then Manfoot, the spin around shot, gets blocked in front by Stinson.
I was just hoping that you didn't jinx it there.
Me too. I was just hoping, please, just get blocked something.
Because you saw Manfoot there get the ball and try and turn. But the Ambush, you know, the Ambush have done well this season. We're at 6 wins, which is more than the last 2 years combined. But they're still learning how to close games out. You know, the Ambush have won a lot of games coming from behind. It's very rare for the Ambush to go into halftime with a lead. So closing games out is new territory for this team. And it's still a young team with regards to the sport. I mean, the Brazilian players in the team haven't played a lot of indoor. Reggett and Stinson haven't played a lot of professional indoor. So in sports terms, it's still a very young team that's still finding their feet. And this is going to be another measure of the maturity in being able to close out this game against a very good Florida team. And we mentioned, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, as Pepe nearly gets his pocket picked. But we mentioned the missing DeSantis. We're also missing Corey Adamson. You know, and Corey Adamson, God love him. This club loves Corey Adamson. The fans love him. He's a great crowd favorite here.
Acosta with a good chance, just barely blocked in the front. His down was Diegas, and he inadvertently blocked that with his heel.
And I was waxing lyrical about Corey Adamson as we nearly made it a 4th there. But he can score. Corey Adamson knows where the goals are. And I've got to think that Everton's kept DeSantos, kept Adamson for tomorrow.
Tropics trying to clear it forward, pushed away by Acosta, right back to Alves though. The Tropics are just going to work with it in their own end, now sending it across field into the corner. Braithwaite going up against Robert Acosta.
And Braithwaite's a big boy, you know. He's got a lot of heft, he's tall. I mean, Robert Acosta is a tall guy, but Braithwaite's got inches on Acosta.
Now it goes down in the corner. Braithwaite getting away from Acosta, then took a shot, but that's a foul as Acosta went down into the boards. He's still down. Seems to be okay, but he's holding his arm.
Braithwaite's looking a little bemused there. I have to agree with Braithwaite there. I didn't see much about that, but, you know, it was a foul on Acosta, and I think Acosta's a very honest player. You know, he's not going to get an embellishment call against him.
Try and send it down to St. Louis. Almost able to take away. Now he gets a half-hearted shot on, and still is able to hold on to that easily. Nice lift forward, goes off the elbow. Marcos, Ambush get away with one as here comes the Tropics the other way to Clark. Takes a shot off the glass. No one in front though as Felipe. As the Ambush there, able to clear it out. Not all the way though as Diegas keeps in it for Clark. Trying to push it forward, but it's going to be taken by McGee as he falls.
And a little push on the Tropics play. They were calling for a foul there, and I think they had a case. But here's McGee now.
Quick ball moving by the Ambush. Sending it down, looking for St. Louis, who had the second goal tonight. As it stands, he has the winner. St. Louis is going to send it all the way back to Paulo.
Good hold-up play there by Stephen St. Louis. You know, just that little 5-6 seconds he was able to hold that ball in the corner. The Ambush players were able to get a breath. They were able to get in position. They were able to find their feet. And he's got another chance here to do the exact same thing again.
Just barely misses St. Louis that time. This time Laidley able to grab it though. Now Mario Marcos. Drop for Joanne Laidley. Laidley fights off a man but loses the ball in the process. Now loose ball in the middle. Grabbed by McGee. Able to get around Manfoot. Nice slickle move. Now Diegas able to chip that ball forward, but you have a whistle. And Joanne Laidley down on the field in the corner.
And he's not moving.
He's not. Can't really tell what seems to be the problem as of right now. Has his hand over his eyes. So here comes the athletic trainer.
Injured player for the Ambush is number 18,
the Ambush.
Joanne Laidley. Hey fans, who wants to watch the
I'm really not sure. I mean, the athletic trainer's looking at his right leg.
There will be 5 lucky winners here tonight, and a guest.
And I'm really not sure what happened there.
For a chance to win, text "shoot."
I'm almost concerned if it was an off-the-ball incident, if he just like pulled the muscle or pulled the hamstring off the ball. At least he's up.
He is, but he's not putting any weight whatsoever on that right foot. He hobbles to the bench.
Maybe something like, I don't know, a twisted ankle or something. Again, if it's a collision on the ball, you watch it happen. And none of us saw Laidley hit the deck, so it must have happened off the ball, and to just go down off the ball, it must be something serious.
Well, the ball was on that side of the field when the shots were being taken. It was quickly cleared out, though. The referee talks to Reggett and Alves, trying to work it out, but Laidley just making his way to the bench now. And I have to imagine he will head to the locker room. Well, first be evaluated rather on the bench. Swanner over there helping as well.
It does not look good for Laidley, but you know, kind of. I mean, silver lining that he didn't go straight to the locker room. Maybe he does think that he can just figure this out.
Mark Linton coming over to look at him as well as we get back to the play on the field. Paulo sending it down for Zach Reggett. Reggett off the boards, and now Almeida on the far side. Can't get there before it's taken by Pereiras. Then a bouncing ball trying to find Braithwaite. It's going to go out of play. So now Robert Acosta for Lucas Almeida. Almeida off the boards finds Stinson. Stinson for Acosta over to Paulo. Paulo trying to speed away from Manfoot, sends it down for Zach Reggett. Reggett got a foot on it, but that ball is going to still be bouncing and then finds its way to Brian Roth. Still juggling it, he is, and finally giving it to the referees.
Just catch the ball, Brian.
I imagine you can see, I can see him laughing. I can see half his face is already laughing. Down for Paulo, and then Paulo, nice ball, keeping it on the ground, finds Reggett, spin around, takes the shot, Vadim Kochikov! What a shot and a goal, it's 4-1.
What a shot by Vadim Kochikov that was. A goal and assist just in the team for tonight, and a goal and assist already.
His first assist was earlier, and now he gets his first goal of the season. What a game so far for Vadim, coming out and making his presence known.
I've also got to say, you know, full marks to Zach Reggett for the setup. You know, really good work in the corner by him. Watching the replay now, really good work, and then Kochikov just steams in and pile drives it into the bottom.
St. Louis ambush goal.
Vadim Kochikov from Dublin, Ireland, with the least Irish name you will find.
I remember asking him that his first game, and he explained to me. Makes a lot more sense.
Assisted by number 22, Zach Reggett. Kochikov from Reggett, ambush for Tropics 1.
Heave it all the way down by Paulo. Tropics on top of it. 4-1 our score halfway through this third quarter. Tropics under some pressure. Pepe pushes off. The only person really pressured right now is McGee. Sent all the way forward. Able to find Diegas, then he loses it to Clayton. Eduardo. Back for Paulo, over to Eduardo.
Big goal that, you know, for the ambush, because 3-1, it's still kind of close, he's still kind of tense, but 4-1, I mean, it's starting to find some daylight between them and the Tropics. And they're going to need it, because here comes Manfoot.
Manfoot, and he can't get past Paulo. An unbelievable play. Paulo actually stopped that with his feet, pushing them together. Now the ambush.
Well, that was the perfect tackle, wasn't it? It wasn't a save, it was just a perfect tackle.
It was excellent as Marcos takes the shot that just misses. Clayton grabbing the rebound off the boards. Tried to reverse it to Marcos, instead gonna walk it back to midfield, and he'll go off for a change. As well as Eduardo. Paulo under some pressure in his own end, able to work it up to Stinson. Felipe give and go right to Stinson. Stinson with JT. Cuts the outside, takes a shot, and he scores! What an unbelievable goal by Stinson, and the Ambush are pulling ahead.
What a shot by Stinson, but you know what? If you watch JT's movement here on the left-hand side, he draws the defender away, and he also, everyone thinks that Stinson's going to pass it to JT, so Silva's got an eye on JT. Everyone's thinking the ball's going to JT, and Stinson just sees them all look at JT, and he just plows ahead and scores the goal.
We have official timeout on the field. St. Louis Ambush goal. His 10th of the season, scored by number 21.
10 goals for Justin Stinson.
Stinson.
He's going to be a superstar in this league, man.
Felipe Stinson.
Two up-and-comers on this team then.
But I tell you what, that goal there was made by JT with his movement off the ball. 5-1, I tell you what, at the beginning of the game, I didn't think 5-1 was 7
instead of his farm. It's what I've always wanted to do.
Still maintain that the Florida Tropics are the best team in the scoreline suggest. Come on. And they are getting a stern talking to right now by their coach.
Tell him I'll send
because he knows it too. But that's no concern of the Ambush. The Ambush are doing their jobs, and the Ambush have to keep piling it on while they can.
You look at it right there, that's the third goal the Ambush have scored so far tonight. That started with Paulo keeping it all the way down the field, able to perfectly find St. Louis, Reggett. You know, they are tuned in together, and Paulo is just making some great efforts to immediately start offensive pressure.
The goal almost came from the perfect tackle that Paulo had down here from Antonio Manfoot. And I think you hit on it there. The chemistry that they have this year was promised last year and just never came into fruition. But now, because we knew they had the skill last year, we knew they had the talent, but it was the chemistry, the gels, the passes were a little wayward, first touches were a little heavy. But this year, an extra year, this team has come together.
So Braithwaite going to start with it as the Tropics need to act fast if they want to get back into this game. Braithwaite able to head it forward, trying to find Manfoot in the middle, but it's cleared out by the Ambush. Too far out of play, so Tropics going to get the restart right by. It's going to be at the top of the key, actually. And make a good amount of changes. He immediately started, took the shot, but nobody was ready. And they decided to call timeout as much communication there on the field as there's the newcomer, Matt Clare, taking the timeout there.
Well, I mean, everyone stopped, the defense stopped, they knew they'd called the timeout. It was a great shot. Just doesn't count.
And during this timeout, we'd like to remind everybody that the Ambush would like to thank Mitre USA for providing today's match balls. Mitre, founded in Huntersville, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Mitre is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Mitre share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Mitre's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Mitre's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight path than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. So Tropics just break their huddle here at the Family Arena, so do the Ambush, and they will get their restart.
Another guy we've not mentioned is Axel Duarte. Because I presumed he was in the lineup because I saw him warming up earlier. I guess he was just doing a training session because he's now in a suit on the sidelines and he must be starting tomorrow.
Now the Tropics getting ready for the restart. Drop it back. Claire. Pass over. Gets blocked in front by Felipe. Now Reggett on top of it, trying to get the break instead. Good damage control by Claire, able to win that back to his keeper. Now crossfield pass finds Manfoot, settled with his chest. to Braithwaite, and then Manfoot's knocked down by Pepe.
Manfoot got a boot to the back, and Pepe knows. Pepe knows. He put his, to be fair to Pepe, he put his arm up to apologize straight away. He knew.
If it's still in a bit of discomfort, it looks like he's going to stay on the field though. But
Pepe, 2 minutes for kicking.
Pepe is going to head to the box. A 2-minute penalty for the ambush, and this is a big kill here. As now we have the ambush have Felipe, Robert Acosta, McGee, and Reggett out there.
Yeah, 7 minutes to go in the third here.
Carreras in, Diegues will go back and forth.
You know, Florida can get a second, then they can see some light in the end of the tunnel, you know.
Send it to Carreras. Carreras down low. Send it back up top. Diegues again off the boards in front looking for Braithwaite, but Reggett's able to steal that. Spins around, still has good control of it. Works up the near side of the boards, losing that to Carreras. Give it to Manfoot. Back to Carreras, has some space, cuts the middle, a shot taken, misses, hits the glass above the net. Then Felipe, nice move to move it up the boards, but not out. Ruiz spins around, takes a shot, and he's able to beat Paulo. Keeping that ball on the ground, and it's 5-2 now, the power play goal for the Tropics.
Well, you said it was a big 2 minutes. It turned out to be a big 45 seconds. Because that is as long as it took for the Florida Tropics to get on board. Now, as I say, you know, the game was de facto over. It's now, as I say, Tropics have got a little hope. They got a little light, you know. It doesn't take much for it to become 5-3, 5-4, and then the ambush are really under pressure.
Now McGee working the trying to get it to Almeida rather, but goes off the boards, loses it. Kochikov, a nice second effort play to win that back for the ambush. Sending it forward, Alves able to head it forward, bouncing ball, trying to find Kochikov. He's able to grab it, and then Clayton taken out hard. It looked like a rugby tackle there almost for a second. Taking out his chest. That's a foul, and doesn't look like it's going to be a 2-minute, but Clayton's still down on the ground.
A little bit of a back and forth from Manfoot and the ambush bench there. Manfoot calling it a dive. Manfoot knew what he was doing there. He totally blocked him.
Gonna get back to Paulo. Paulo forward, able to just barely find St. Louis over Alves, but then it's gonna be taken by McGee at midfield. McGee for Almeida. There's a piece of, looks like confetti on the field or something. Is it lifted forward by Kochikov to Clayton. Clayton cutting around, trying to make a second move around Boateng. Instead, Clayton just going to jog back. And he's going to go off for a change. Out comes Justin Stinson.
You're absolutely right. The ambush have got the lead still. I mean, they can still dictate the play. They can still pass it around. They're in no rush to score. They just have to keep Florida at bay.
St. Louis looking to hold him off a bit till he can get to Kochikov. Instead, right back to Robert Acosta. Almeida now for Kochikov. And right back to Lucas Almeida. Already has one tonight, sends it to Kochikov, also has one. Then Paulo all the way back, lifts it high to St. Louis, but his foot was kicked.
Absolutely right, too.
Foul against the Tropics, number 33.
It's going to be Alves.
Rafa Alves is first of the half.
So it's going to be a restart for the ambush just outside the yellow line.
St. Louis had his leg stripped from under him there.
Almeida under some confusion from the Tropics, tried to take advantage. Stinson trying to keep it in, unable to do so. Off the boards, Manfoot sends it. And then Kochikov's able to grab it. And Lucas Almeida now. Almeida across finds Justin Stinson. Stinson, nice head fake. Works down the boards, is barely able to stay on his feet. Great play. Look towards the middle for Eduardo instead. All the way up the boards for Pepe.
Great work again from Stinson.
Costa trying to send it into the corner for Zach Rader. That goes too high, though, and the Tropics are going to get it back in their own end.
I think Stinson there up in the corner tried to do what he did the last time, tried to use the players in the middle to draw the goalie out and smash it in the near post. He just couldn't find a shooting lane.
From 6:30 to 8 p.m. for a dinner.
But the way he got past two of those defenders, I mean, he really is a quality player.
Come out, enjoy the image.
Hard off the boards is Silva. Paulo looking for it, trying to get around Acosta. He's able to do so as Acosta was kind of boxing out Dieguez. Now Paulo moving forward. Toes that ball into the corner. Spinning ball grabbed by Silva. He's just going to hand that forward. Clear the long pass, able to find Dieguez, spinning around and trying to take a shot away from McGee. But he tied him up. And then Pereiras again. Pereiras off of the ambush player. That was Eduardo. And then Paulo grabbing it, trying to beat the defenders. It's Pepe. Pepe bouncing ball, takes a shot, and that goes right on to Silva. And then up to Claire. Great back and forth action. Very quick as it's into Pereiras, but Eduardo or Clayton able to knock him off the ball. Now Dieguez against the boards, clears it against the glass, and Paul is able to hug the glass and hold on to that.
I think now as the Florida Tropics try and push forward and try and get a third, it may leave the back door open for the ambush, maybe sneak in a sixth.
Paulo for McGee. Sent back to Paulo from Felipe. Felipe again, try to pass off the boards, looking for Marcos. And now it's back for McGee. Fakes it. And back to the keeper.
Florida are pressing very high. They've got no other choice, really. What the ambush can't do is make any silly mistakes, any sloppy mistakes. They've got to stay defensively strong.
JT's just going to wind it all the way back for Paulo. Good possession by the ambush is Stinson for McGee. And away from Manfoot and Dieguez. Back for Paulo. Now Stinson's going to send it forward. Looking for St. Louis, able to settle it nicely. Now St. Louis looks over his shoulder. What are his options? He's just going to send it all the way down again to Paulo. Pressure from Manfoot, and easy move by Paulo to get away from him. Now Stinson forward to Felipe. Has Stinson open, and the pass just a bit too far past him. Going to be a race for it one-on-one. Beats Reyes to it. Marcos off the boards in front for St. Louis, but he couldn't get a hold of it. Now Manfoot takes it away and clears all the way down. Reyes is going to race for it. Will not beat Paulo to it. So they're trying to catch the Tropics in the middle of a change. Alves up for Reyes. Over to Braithwaite on the far side, sending off the boards in front, and a great play as that was Boateng in front. Maybe got a foot on Paulo as he wasn't happy about that.
I think there was no foul on the play, but I think the referee just steamed in there just to make sure that nothing happened. I mean, the ball was there to be won by both players, and Paulo went in too.
Correction, we have a foul against the Tropics.
It was a foul.
24, Melvin Boateng, his first.
It is going to be on Boateng as this ball still loose. Braithwaite, Paulo's out of his net, and Acosta makes the unbelievable shoulder save. The ambush looked down and out, but Acosta makes the big-time save to keep this 5-2. 45 seconds left, ambush go the other way. Reggett.
That is a game-winning save by Robert Acosta. That was absolutely unbelievable. Paulo was beaten. Half the defense was beaten.
Kochikov has a lot of space. Already has one tonight. Takes the shot. He's taken down, and that's going to be a 2-minute penalty on the Tropics.
And obviously, that was close as well to being a penalty shot. I mean, he was free and clear, about to pull the trigger.
Tropics, 2-minute penalty to number 9, Ricardo de Dieguez. 2 minutes
well,
for
this
tripping.
last 3-4 minutes of this third quarter has been absolutely superb. You've not been able to stop to get your breath.
Mark Arnold, Agency, power play!
For the ambush. McGee to start with it, 25 seconds left. Drops it down to Riggett, the shot taken. One-timer by Clayton, he scores!
What a really nice side foot into the corner by Clayton. He still had traffic to deal with in front of him. But he knew what he was doing. He just side-footed it, cool as you like, into the side net.
25 seconds left in the quarter, but Clayton only needs 3.
But one thing that has come alive, and I meant to mention this earlier, is that the ambush power play has really kicked into gear the last 3 weeks. The win down in Orlando was heavily dependent on the power play, because it was somewhat lacking the first 6-7 weeks of the season for the ambush, but they really have kicked into the gear.
So that's Clayton's 7th of the season as he extends the ambush lead once again. Now 6-2.
Power play goal.
Paulo lifting all the way forward, looking for Stinson, and Almeida just hit that in the air, hit an air duct all the way up at the top of the Family Arena as the third quarter expired. And a great third quarter for the ambush. They're able to pull ahead and now have a big 4-goal lead over the Florida Tropics.
Oh, what we'd have done last season to have third quarters like that. Again, it's just the maturity. The Tropics were able to pull one back. The ambush didn't panic.
I think we're going to need a bigger
ambush
table.
Teams of old would have panicked. Their heads would have dropped. They would have been like, "Oh no, here we go again." But this is a different ambush.
Get a little
team.
more holiday this season with Schnucks Rewards.
They're understanding what it takes now to win close games.
How do we do
close
that?
out leads. Their heads didn't drop, and they went back and got a 6.
Maybe we should do a cheese plate.
And I think against the
Get a little more holiday this season with Schnucks Rewards.
You know, you need a multi-goal lead to ensure you win this game.
I'm trying to throw it into the basket because I'm going to pick something as close as I can to inside the basket.
We're about halfway through this little break in the quarter. Tropics really trying, it seems, to get motivated. There are different guys saying stuff in that huddle, including Antonio Manfield. Looks like he got a couple words in, trying to motivate his new squad.
Well, I mean, Manfield's been trying to make things happen, but Paolo's had his number all game.
That's big for Manfield. 2 goals in the last game against the ambush, including what I believe was the first of the game as well. So he had that first strike in his first game back against the team. Now tonight, obviously his second.
But you can't, I mean, he's got to be like 6'2" to the team I just left. I mean, that's no different to what Laidley had to face down there in Florida last week also.
Okay, please don't hurt me. Okay, here we go. All right, we got there's a bunch of
the ambush have played really well this game. I think the ambush have played well against other teams that you'd expect them to win, but I honestly goodness thought that this game would be a lot closer than it was. The ambush have played really well. They've taken their opportunities. They've taken their chances. They've had to really work for every opportunity that they've created. Paolo has had to be on his game.
Especially early in the game. He was tested very quickly, and he stood his ground.
But you look at the league leaders on the defensive side of the field, we've got 2 of the top 5 defensive players in the league. So maybe I'm not giving them enough credit in the fact that they were able to hold Florida to 2 goals through the first 3 periods. Maybe I'm not giving this team enough credit. But also, those 2 players in the top 5 aren't in the team tonight.
Use promo code AMBUSH online for a buy one, get one free cheesesteak.
how is the Tropics being affected? Missing Guillerme.
Stay posted.
Now Freddie Mugin's gone from this team, obviously, but this is a different squad that kind of needs to be remolded, it seems.
Yeah,
almost.
they need to gel. They need to figure it out. But, you know, injuries, every team goes through injuries. It's a part of the game. Every team will get injuries, especially this time of the season where, you know, you're almost to the home stretch. You've had 6 to 8 solid weeks of nothing but back-to-back traveling, training, and soccer. You know, injuries are just part of life. But this Florida Tropics is still a good team, and then their coach will not take injuries as an excuse either, and neither should he.
Well, as you were talking, I was just thinking about Dwayne Laidley, and that we hadn't seen him on the field or on the bench. And just as I think about that, I look over, and here comes Dwayne Laidley from the tunnel, and he is going to be on the bench with the Ambush for this fourth quarter. How much he plays, we will see. That's a great sign to see.
Well, I mean, he's part of the team. I mean, he wants to see how his boys perform. Even if he doesn't get another minute in this fourth quarter, he still wants to show up for his teammates. But also, Florida go tomorrow to Kansas City. They play in Kansas City tomorrow night. So it makes you wonder, you know, we talked about ourselves looking towards tomorrow night in our game against Orlando. How much are the Tropics looking towards tomorrow night in the Comets, especially with the injury issues they've got?
The Tropics are currently have 2 more away games after this before they go home. As you said, February 2nd tomorrow, 2 o'clock in KC. They travel across 70 tonight. Then on Saturday, February 9th at Milwaukee at 8 o'clock. Then Tropics fans, your next home game will be Saturday, February 16th at 7 o'clock. There's a shot taken by Manfoot, blocked by Paulo, then sent back to Reyes, as that game is going to be against Orlando at 7 o'clock once again on February 16th. That's the next Tropics home game. As Pat also said, tomorrow the Ambush will have a game against Orlando. That game will start at 7 here at the Family Arena. It'll be Harry Potter night as well, so you want to get your kids dressed up for that? Absolutely. Is also on Saturday, February 9th will be the Ambush Alumni Night game. So how that will work at 5 from 5:30 to 6:30, doors will open and Ambush legends will be signing autographs. They will be introduced with the team at the beginning of the game, and then the All-Star Alumni game will take place at halftime, and that's going to be North County versus South County, since we have all St. Louis guys, so a nice little camaraderie between the two squads. As JT took a shot that gets blocked by somebody, bouncing ball held by Silva.
Well, you say, you know, a lot of St. Louis guys, but there may be a lady in the team, because I know Lindsay Kennedy Eversmeyer, who, you know, is a big St. Louis soccer legend. She played with the Steamers for a while. I think she was the only lady to play in the old MASL.
JT seemed like he was away as he got around Arriaga relatively easily, but he sent him down to the ground, and that's going to be a foul and a Tropics ball.
JT claiming innocence. Come on, JT, you bowled him over, son.
Stolen by Diego, sends it over, a shot taken, great save by Paulo. He continues to stand tall in the Ambush net.
Laidley is on the bench, but he's on the stationary bike, just trying to work out his leg and his ankle and try and get some blood pumping, I guess.
JT almost stealing that from Braithwaite, sends it back to Silva again. As no one is near Silva, really. Now Manfoot dropping back. Braithwaite under pressure from Kochikov, and that's going to be a foul on, looks like, on Vadim.
Makes you wonder how long Florida are going to go before they pull Silva.
Or at least Silva gets past the midfield mark as Alvarez took a shot that was blocked in front.
On ball.
Appears to hit the hands.
On number 33, Rafa Alves.
It's going to be on Rafa. It looks like Clayton almost touched out with his hand as well. So he goes forward. Pepe.
Really nice pass to find Pepe.
He was chugging along trying to get to that ball, was able to get there, took the shot wide. Now Braithwaite, pressured by Clayton, and Kochikov hugging the boards, able to steal that ball away. Ambush makes some changes as Manfoot closes in on Paulo. Now Coaster trying to send that ball forward, but a weird spin to it, sends it into the crowd. So Rafa Alves starts it. Up to Reyes. Reyes gain away from Stinson. Able to get to Boateng. Now trying to get it for Diegues, and Diegues can't get there before Eduardo. Taken by Alves, who winds up a shot blocked in front by Acosta. And Paulo gets the call from Zach Reggett. Right on the mark as Reggett sells it with his chest. Then he's pushed up against the boards. Hitting Reggett against the boards. That's going to be another power play for St. Louis.
I'm not sure if that was a push into the boards or a kick into the boards or... But either way, 2 minutes. There's a replay now. It seemed an extremely high boot. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that.
Reggett just looking right at the ref immediately. He's like, you know to call that.
I mean, if Pepe's getting in 2 minutes for doing that to Manfoot, I mean, the refs have to be consistent, and they...
So the second attempt tonight for the Ambush are already 1 for 1. First shot was the goal by Clayton. As it goes to Reggett, spin around and a shot blocked by Alves.
And even if they don't score, it's still 2 minutes off this clock.
And over to Clayton. Clayton through player's leg, Machado's legs, and trying to get into the corner, stolen by Ruiz. And he's just going to clear that all the way down the field. Minute 20 left on the Ambush power play. Long pass by Paulo finds Lucas Almeida. Almeida for McGee. Back to Lucas Almeida, has St. Louis down low. Uses them. And back to Almeida. Clayton wide open. And Stinson's in the corner as well. Goes to McGee, fakes the shot. Goes to Clayton, trying to get it over to Stinson. Blocked by Machado. And they're going to have to bring it all the way back for Paulo. McGee forward with it. Over to Clayton, down to Stinson. Justin Stinson, nice footwork trying to get to St. Louis, then drop back for Stinson, and he took a shot that hits the netting above the goal, and a restart for Florida. Just 37 seconds remaining on the Ambush power play.
Even if the Ambush don't score on this power play, I'm telling you, the 2 minutes off the clock where the Tropics couldn't do anything offensively will be just as good. Famous last words by me.
It's lifted forward high in the air, headed by Acosta. He sends that over into the Florida bench. They're going to get a restart as they're making the changes. Silva screaming at his players from behind. Get in position. Gets it sent down to Alves. Alves able to drop that back. And then all the way back for Silva. There's no one on the Tropics bench appears right now to have on an extra attacker jersey. So you have to wonder if Silva's just going to pull forward.
You'd have to think so. Maybe they just think that Silva's...
Ambush were going for goal there. That was McGee looking to lift it over Silva.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they just think, you know, Silva's the boy. May as well, he's got good feet. Let's just let him be the sixth player.
He barks out some more directions. Claire dribbles forward with it. Meets Pepe. And then Silva up to JP Reyes. Pressure by Felipe. Has to send it back to Silva. And still under a lot of pressure. A wide open Matt Clare in front of the penalty box. Sends it over. Boateng trying to cut towards the middle. Good foot by Almeida to break that up. And that is played by the Tropics. Almost too many men once again, as they have been flirting with that all night tonight. Now Silva passes the midfield line. Sends it down off the boards in front. And St. Louis spins in the air, trying to send that forward. in the header, and that was J.P. Reyes. And stolen right from Claire was St. Louis. Sends it forward, and that's going to miss the net by a good amount.
You know, sooner or later, one of those is going to float in the back of the net, one of these long shots.
Well, Pereira's trying to go far side, couldn't get the shot. Now Braithwaite waiting, seeing what Felipe does. Felipe cuts forward, able to knock the ball away briefly, then the shot taken, Paulo with the save. And not quite out of the zone. Manfoot takes a shot from a bouncing ball. That hits the netting.
That was borderline frustration by Manfoot. He was 30, 35 yards away from goal. He just let rip because he just wanted something to happen. But they got a corner out of it.
Manfoot sends it up. Pereira's the shot. Misses, and then Dieguez, the rebound, misses wide. It was a great initial shot with the save with the foot by Paulo. And doesn't have to make a save on that second one.
You know, those are the kind of shots last year that would have gone in. You know, he said, you make your own look. And the ambush, they've got lucky a couple of times, you know, with balls off the post, the outside of the post, rebounds that would have gone to an offensive player last year, dropping at defenders this year. But also, you know, Paulo has been absolutely stellar tonight. We talk a lot about Reggett and Stinson and JT and the offensive side of the field. But Robert Acosta tonight has been absolutely superb.
As you see, Acosta trying to clear it, goes off the referee, then right back to Alves on the near side. Back for Pereiras. Now Silva crosses the midfield line. Look to shoot instead to Manfoot, then taken by Acosta, and Silva clips it with his hand. It's going to be a race for it, and doesn't look like McGee's going to get there as Silva able to push that forward. Now Manfoot back in his own end, heads that to Pereiras, and all the way down to Silva.
It was very close to being a handball from Silva. I mean, it was his shoulder, but it didn't stop the ambush players from asking for a handball there.
Well, Pereiras off the boards, able to find Dieguez. Dieguez trying to get around Felipe instead. Back to Pereiras. Almost lost it out of play. Pereiras with Silva forward. Gets pushed by McGee. No calls. It goes to Alves. Cuts to the middle. Takes a shot. Blocked in front again by Acosta. Then lifted high in the air. And that will go out of play. And that will be a big restart for the Tropics. Before that, an official timeout with just 7:15 left. The ambush with the big lead over the Tropics.
They do, but the Tropics have been knocking on the door for the past 2 or 3 minutes.
Who's going to answer the question? If you get it right, you're going to get 2 tickets to
and this is a good little timeout for the ambush to take. Just calm down.
I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
Just take a breath. The defense for the ambush tonight has been absolutely stellar. I was mentioning, you know, Paulo's saves and Robert Acosta, who's been absolutely immense tonight. And that, for me, has been the big improvement from last season, is being able to minimize the defensive mistakes. If you can do that, you keep yourself in a chance of winning games. And that's why we're knocking on the door of our 7th win of the season. You know, with just minimizing silly mistakes.
For mouth-watering food, come to Stefanina's Pizzeria and Restaurant, where we use Steph's old Italian recipes to prepare your pizzas, pastas, salads, steak, chicken, seafood, and a long list of appetizers. Delicious homemade sauces and all the best ingredients will make family-friendly Stefanina's your favorite place to eat. Check our website for nightly specials, events, and prizes. Order online or come to one of our 5 locations. Owned and operated by Steph's children and grandchildren, Stefanina's Pizzeria and Restaurant delivers true original Italian recipes. Steph'sPizza.com.
Improved.
Hey fans, when you take
and it's the same players. It's still Robert Acosta. It's still Axel Duarte. Douglas DeSantos has come in.
On 12-inch one-topping pizza.
You know, Almeida's moved back from being a forward. He's moved back towards the midfield. This defense has vastly improved with essentially the same players.
And as the South Central Division stands right now, Milwaukee at the top, 11 games played. They sit 9-2, 3 games ahead of the second place team, which is the KC Comets, 6-5 on the year. Right behind them, your St. Louis Ambush, 6 and 7, and right behind them the Orlando Seawolves, then the Tropics at the bottom of the division, 4 and 7. There's a shot taken by Pereiras, misses, and Acosta still digging for it, and then Braithwaite takes a shot and misses, or just makes it against the boards. Just barely saving that was, or almost getting that was the foot of Paulo.
Big 7 minutes for the Ambush to hold on. Big 7 minutes now. Because if they can get another goal and get it to within 2, they're going to fancy their chances. 7 minutes at the end of an indoor soccer game is an eternity.
Reggett trying to keep that. Instead goes to Kochikov. Now Ruiz taking it, then he's taken down by Mario Marcos.
Can't argue about that, Mario.
Rafa gets his team set up, gets it to Manfoot down the boards. Manfoot against Marcos, and Marcos takes him out right in the foot.
I expected to see a little blue there, but the Ambush catch a break.
Number 70, McGee, is first.
So Rafa Alves getting set up again. Silva behind him.
Come on, fans, put
Just
your
at the edge of the circle at midfield. Rafa takes the shot and just misses, looking for that rebound. Was Pereiras. Instead goes back to Silva. For Antonio Manfoot is now on the near side. Silva pushes forward slowly down to Manfoot. Manfoot tries to spin away from Marcos, and that's going to be a foul on the Ambush.
I'm not sure about that one. I think Manfoot, he did turn him, but I don't think Marcos got as much as he thought, much as Manfoot thought he did.
Riggett working with Paulo as him and Mario Marcos make a two-man wall. Drop for Antonio Manfoot and a shot, and didn't look like Paulo saw that till the end, but he's able to make a good save. Now in tight, Diegas loses the ball, and then Marcos tried to clear that ball out, but not all the way out, and that's where it went. So that's going to be a restart at the top of the box once again for the Tropics.
Again, the Ambush have to find a way to get control of this game back. It's been all Tropics this fourth quarter.
Pereiras takes a shot, blocked. Paulo dove, able to recenter himself, and then a shot blocked by Felipe. It's going to go out, so right back to the top of the box. We're now in the corner, rather, for the Tropics.
Everybody clap your hands.
Pereiras, again, off the boards in front. No one can grab it for the Tropics, and Reggett able to clear it out. Not all the way out, though. As Berchet kept it in. Now Claire fighting for it with Clayton. Sends it back to Berchet and then over. And back for Silva. Silva ordering his team around as he's being pressured by Reggett. Goes to Claire. He almost lost it to Clayton. Now Silva calls everybody forward.
Why not? You got nothing to lose.
Over to Claire and then right back to Silva. Before going to Pereiras. Takes a shot that stays on the ground. Paulo is diving. Thankfully it went wide. Then Bursch shot off the bouncing ball, and that's going to go out of play.
Really good block there by Clayton. The Ambush are under cosh here, and they have to find a way to get the ball and hold it for a good 2-3 minutes. Try and kill some of this clock. The way he's going right now, you can't but not see the Tropics scoring again. But here comes Lucas Almeida.
Almeida has T with him. Tried to send off the boards, but that rings around the boards. Easy save for Silva. Now here's Pereiras. Backing up is Eduardo. Pereiras, Almeida almost stops him against the boards. Goes over to JP Reyes. Back to Pereiras. Pereiras has some options, instead sending it back for Silva. Silva taking a shot. And a good save by Paulo. Then the rebound misses everything. Tropics want a call after that push on the far side. the way of the Tropics again. Carreras trying to get around Eduardo. Almost loses it briefly, then Reyes able to get it back for Claire, and then for Manfoot on the near side. Manfoot and Stinson. Bring it over again, Matt Claire. Down low, then back up top. Cross field again for Manfoot. And Claire, they find an opening down low. Pass goes in front, and Paulo jumps in the air, able to stop Diegas. Paulo racing forward, gets past Manfoot, over to Stinson, has St. Louis. And he pulls up right before he can get the pass off, but then Almeida will just make sure the Ambush keeps solid possession.
Yeah, it's way more important. I know St. Louis is upset they didn't have a chance to score, but it's more important to keep the ball. At this point of the game, it is more important to keep possession.
Coming up against the Tropics for too many men on the field.
Well, it had to happen at some point, didn't it? I mean, you said it earlier in the game that they've been flirting with it all game.
Power play!
So the 2 minute men for the Tropics, the Ambush, third power play so far tonight. As it stands, they are 1 for 2. There's Alvarez, Machado, Ruiz, and Claire out there. Or Arriaga rather, instead of Claire. So it's going to be Stinson in the corner, it looks like, as Braithwaite heads to the box.
Over the Tropics, number 6, Andre Braithwaite. Again, Tropics 2 minutes for too many men on the field. The Ambush.
Surprised they put Braithwaite in the box. He's been very active up front for them. And I do think the Ambush are just going to knock it around, make the Tropics run, try and tire them out a bit, and just run 2 minutes off the clock.
Gets it down to Zach Reggett. Reggett. Smart play, send it all the way back to his goalkeeper.
Let's get that noise meter shaking.
He waits again. Almeida with 3.5 remaining. Over to wide open Clayton. Clayton takes the chance and goes forward. Hits Rafa up in the face. He goes down hard.
That was clean. He cleaned him right out there. And he took it right to the chops. We're going to look at a replay right now. And Clayton took the shot. And that just hit Alves straight in the noggin.
He went right down. And
I don't think, here's the thing, I don't think he was ready for it. He didn't see it coming. And I think the fact it caught him kind of unawares, he wasn't able to.
As Reiniger goes to goal, open on the side is Moser, knocked down by Westcote. Point blank, and Westcote batted it aside.
He is still down on the field. Now we see some movement from him, from his feet, but he's still on his belly.
Look out, Moser, look where he scores! Oh, baby! And Moser goes
went over to make sure he's okay. Still being attended to by the official.
Getting caught ball watching in their own end, not staying with the runners.
Now Silva having a word with the officials. Now they open a corner.
Moser made no mistake.
Door here at the Family Arena. He might be taking him out there. Just trying to get him all the way to the Tropics bench on the far side of the field.
Mark Moser, Joe Reiniger, Ty Teo, Steve Petcher, Tony Glavin, and many more.
I just think, you know, he just needs a moment. You know, just take the sting out of his face. Just, you know, make sure he can still see 5-4 and 3 fingers with the concussion protocol.
7:05 p.m. kickoff.
I think he'll be fine. I just think he needs a minute.
Get your tickets now at the arena box office.
Now they're able to get him up. I have an official word of one of the officials on the field, and they're going to walk him off.
His legs still look a bit jellyish. I mean, he got his clock cleaned by that shot from Clayton.
Good sportsmanship by Clayton, shaking his hand and giving him a little pat on the back. He gets a couple high fives from the Ambush players as well, and he will sit down on the Tropics bench. So before that happened, a great cut to the middle by Clayton. He saw the opening right there. He saw he had some room at the top of the box. Tried to take it and try to get off a good shot.
But I'm convinced that the Ambush don't want to score if they're going to score in this power play, they want to do it with 10 seconds left of the power play. Kill as much clock as they can with a man advantage and then try and nick a goal at the end of the power play. I think the Ambush are happier just to pass it around and kill time off the game. And if they can squeak a goal at the end, then more the better.
About 60 seconds remain on that power play as it's all the way back for the defense. McGee, now Almeida. Wide open Clayton. That's the middle this time, passes it down to Stinson. Up top, Almeida. McGee again. Nice play gained through to Reggett.
Again, the Ambush, they'll do this for the next 3 minutes if they can.
Just 30 seconds remain on their power plays. It's given over to Pepe. Pepe had the first goal of the game for the Ambush. The Ambush 6 goals. It's gone Pepe, St. Louis, Lucas Almeida, Vadim Kochikov, Justin Stinson, and then Clayton has the 6th tally for the Ambush. 2 goals scored JP Reyes and Ruiz.
And the Tropics are at full strength.
That was Braithwaite.
The Tropics would have had a lot more goal scorers if he weren't for Paolo. Paolo's been really, really solid tonight. And I think Manfoot really wanted to put one past him for old time's sake.
Well, that's, I think, what the Ambush are going to be happy about looking at the stat sheet at the end of this game, is seeing 2 zeros right next to Antonio Manfoot's name. But they've just done a great job of making sure no one can do anything on this Tropics squad. So it goes down to Manfoot. Almost lost it to Stinson, regained it, cut to the middle, then the ball bounces in the air, sent back to Claire. Pereiras takes a shot blocked by the heel of Clayton. Now Stinson grabbing it, works up the boards. Pereiras trying to fight past him. He cannot. And that's going to be Tropics ball. 60 seconds left in this game. Ambush leads 6-3. It's sent down to Braithwaite. Under pressure, Almeida steals it. Almeida trying to create some space, drops it for Stinson. Stinson towards the open net, and he scores! Justin Stinson from a distance, and it's 7-3, and that should close this one out.
I told you it was going to happen. They had a couple while Silva was out of his goal, but that was a really nice, cool, calm finish from distance by Justin Stinson.
You look over in front of the Ambush bench, 2 of them taking a little nap, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, they don't have much opportunity, the Ambush players, to get cocky, so they should enjoy it while they can.
You know what? I think they just took Antonio Manfoot's celebration. Put the pill on the field. Yeah, McGee and Felipe with that celebration that Manfoot used against them last year, or last week rather.
Well, with 52 seconds on the clock, I've got to say, Patrick, this is the best game the St. Louis Ambush have played, not only this season, but for the past 4 seasons. They've come up against a quality opposition, and they have beat them handily.
Look at that Ambush bench. Felipe up, McGee up. They're getting this crowd into it. With just 50 seconds left, it's dropped for Silva.
And there is no better way. And here we go again. JT Thomas
steals it towards the open net, and he scores! JT! 8-3, and the Ambush just keep coming and coming.
Well, I was saying, before JT Thomas stripped Silva and was able to put the ball past him, and there's more shenanigans on the field.
And the crowd loves that.
But I was saying, this has been the best performance I can remember from an Ambush team. You know, going back 2, 3, 4 seasons, where a quality team's coming at this building, and the Ambush have more than matched them.
Of the season, scored by number 20, J.T. Thomas.
Thomas able to find his way on the board. The ambush now.
Come on, fans, 30 seconds to go. Everybody
Probably
out there.
just 30 seconds left. Passing around, maybe trying to get one more. Braithwaite has it spin over his foot and then flips it over the net.
500 mark. We'll go to 7-7 on the season.
And I know Brian Ross was mentioning there, with this win tonight, the Ambush got 7-7. I mean, you know, people at home are going, well, that's just 500, they're buying 500. This team, in the last 2 years prior to this, won 4 games total. So for the Ambush to win 7 games this season, and we're still only halfway through, is absolutely tremendous progress that Everton, Mark Litton, Jamie Swanner have done with this club.
Let's also a little bit of stuff paying off as well. When we talked to coaches before the game, one thing they did say is Stinson and Reggett were both projects in a way for Everton and them, and they panned out more than they could ever dream they could have.
Well, also, let's not take anything away. So was JT Thomas. He came in this team a little beforehand. But
so it's given up to St. Louis in the closing seconds as they pass it over in the ambush. Storm ahead of the Tropics and win 8-3. They will improve to 500, 7-7 in the season. The Tropics dropping to 4-8.
Big win, a big win, especially when you consider this the first home game of a 7-game homestand. This crowd is going to go home happy. They're going to remember that their St. Louis Ambush put on a hell of a show tonight against a very good squad. I keep saying that about Florida. But Florida have beat us twice already down in Florida, and I thought they probably would have fancied their chances coming up here tonight. But absolutely phenomenal play by the Ambush. 2 late goals make it seem a bit easier than it was. This was a hard-fought win for the Ambush. You know, it got to 2-0, it got to 3-1. The Ambush didn't really start pulling away until the end of the third quarter, and it was a really good third quarter by the Ambush, considering I thought the third quarter was the Achilles heel of the team last year. But when this team wins, the fans get right behind them. And the St. Louis Ambush fans have suffered in the last couple of years, so they've got every right to enjoy nights like tonight.
At the end of the game, we're going to send it down to Brian Roth and Angelo Sharp for the 3 stars of the game and the post-game interviews.
Number 17, Paulo. Paulo had 17 saves on 20 shots tonight. The number 2 star of the game. He had 1 goal and 1 assist. Number 9, Stephon St. Louis. And the number 1 Tucano's Ambush star of the game with 1 goal and 1 assist. Number 8, Vadim Kojakov in his first game of the season.
All right, thank you guys. I've got Matt Clare here with the Tropics. Now, you guys are going to see the ambush 6 times over the course. This is the 4th meeting. Now you guys are 2-2. What have you guys figured out about the other team?
I actually just got traded, so that was my first game, my first interaction with the team. But I think we just have to capitalize a little bit more on our chances and finish the ball when we need to. Tonight, they did a very good job in the counterattack, and we were susceptible to it, and hats off to them for finishing their chances.
Now, when you obviously you're new, traded here, did they tell you anything about the ambush because they had seen them so many times already?
Yeah, they were young, they're a hungry team. You know, and as the season progresses, the organization throughout the game has gotten a lot better. So to see it grow from the start as to where they are now is good to see, and I know they're going to continue to progress. So it's our goal as the Tropics to continue to progress in the right direction as well.
And what are you going to work on for your next game?
Finishing our chances. We have to score goals. 3 goals in an indoor game. It's hard to win a game, so we have to finish our chances, and defensively we've got to be a little bit more sound.
Thank you, Mr. Clare. Appreciate your time. There he is. All right, you guys, I got Vadim here, star of the game, a goal and an assist. Now, you hadn't been playing. You were out with a concussion. Today was your first game back. Were you just more hungry to get involved today?
It's good to be back, baby!
I like that you didn't answer my question and took my microphone. What else would you like to say?
No, it's good to be back, obviously, and it's good for the team to get a win. Been out for 5 weeks, you know, so it's really good to be back out there. A goal and an assist helps, obviously, get my confidence up for the next game, so I'm happy to be back.
Now, you obviously were out, but you got to see the Ambush take on the Tropics 3 other times before tonight. Did that kind of help kind of lead your way into what they're going to do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I watch every game. I take notes. You know, we watch film today, so it helps. Every part of it helps, you know, every game.
All right, now we got back-to-back games. You got a game tomorrow night. What are you guys looking forward to continuing to do to keep the winning streak going?
I mean, we keep playing like we played today, with confidence, with pride. With, you know what I mean? There's no team that's going to stop us. We're just going to keep on winning. We're enjoying playing football right now. You know what I mean? So, loving it.
All right, thank you very much, Vadim. Appreciate your time. Back to you guys.
And thank you, Angela. So a great win for the Ambush, and that's a great way to start off this 7-game homestand.
Great way to start the weekend, Friday night. Fans are loving it. You know, I hope they come back. Really happy that Vadim got the first start of the game. He came in, he didn't put a foot wrong. He was hungry, he was enthusiastic, he got a goal, he got an assist. I mean, it was really an all-round perfect performance by the Ambush. It was exactly what they needed.
The Ambush pull away from the Tropics, able to get a big win on home field. The next Ambush game will be tomorrow, as we said, at 7 o'clock versus Orlando. It's going to be Harry Potter night. Be sure to join us as we will be on air at 7. Until then, for Matt Bird, I'm Patrick Kelly. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time on MASL.tv.
Shot and goal!
That was arena soccer perfection.
With an absolute golazo! Goal! As good a goal as you can see. As Reiniger goes to goal, open on the side is Moser, knocked out by West Coast. Point blank, and West Coast managed it aside. Here comes Tritsu, he thought he had help. Didn't. Puts there to stop the play. Look out, Moser is up, he scores! Oh, baby!
That was a heat-seeking missile. Oh my goodness, Frank Tayu scores. Oh, heartbreaker.
Not staying with the runners. And that's twice in the last 30 seconds. The St. Louis players run free. That time Moser made no mistake as he hits the full volley. That was sweet.